David had $800,000 saved for retirement. 2 years later, he had $520,000 left. What happened? He fell for the 3 traps that destroy Western men in Southeast Asia every single year. Here's David's story. 62 years old, divorced engineer from Ohio, spent 30 years building a comfortable retirement. Dating in America felt impossible after his divorce 3 years ago. American women his age didn't need him. They had their own careers, their own houses. Dating apps felt like job interviews with endless requirements. Must earn 6 figures, must be over 6 feet, must have this, must be that. Then, David discovered something different through travel videos and expat forums. Southeast Asian women who seemed to appreciate masculine provision, who valued relationships over career climbing. The psychological appeal hit David hard. These women expressed genuine gratitude for small gestures. They prioritized their families over everything else. David wasn't looking for a trophy wife. He wanted real connection with someone who valued what he offered as a provider. So he booked a flight to Thailand. But here's what David didn't know. He was walking into a sophisticated system designed to empty his bank account. A system that targets men exactly like him: lonely, financially stable, culturally naive. Trap number 1, the visa and property setup. 2 weeks in Bangkok changed everything for David. He met Siraporn at a coffee shop near his hotel on Sukhumvit Road. 34 years old. Spoke perfect English with a slight British accent. Worked as a translator for international businesses. The connection felt instant and genuine. Siraporn was different from American women David had dated. She brought him homemade pad thai, asked detailed questions about his engineering projects, actually listened when he talked about turbine designs and manufacturing processes. She remembered small details: his preference for iced coffee, his stories about building bridges in Ohio, the way his ex-wife never appreciated his work ethic. For the first time in years, David felt valued as a man. But tourist visas expire after 30 days. As David's visa deadline approached, the pressure began subtly. Siraporn mentioned how difficult long-distance relationships were in Thailand. She'd watched friends whose Western boyfriends visited twice a year, then gradually stopped coming. The men would promise to return, send money for a few months, then disappear completely when they found someone local back home. She needed security, commitment, something real and permanent. The marriage visa became the obvious solution. Here's where the first trap springs with surgical precision. Thai immigration law requires substantial financial proof for marriage visas. David needed to show $25,000 in a Thai bank account or prove monthly income of $2,000 from overseas sources. Siraporn offered to help navigate the bureaucracy. She knew people at immigration, could translate documents, connect him with the right officials who wouldn't create problems. Without her help, David would spend months dealing with corrupt officials and confusing paperwork. Then came the property discussion that changes everything. Thai law strictly prohibits foreign ownership of land, but Siraporn knew the legal workarounds that successful expats used. They could buy property using nominee arrangements. David's name on the deed, but legal ownership through a Thai company where Siraporn held controlling shares. It was perfectly legal. Thousands of foreigners did it. The only way to actually own property in Thailand. 6 months into their relationship, Siraporn found the perfect house in a nice neighborhood outside Bangkok. $150,000. 3 bedrooms, small garden, modest by American standards but perfect for their future together. The pressure was subtle but constant. If David truly loved her, if he was serious about their relationship, he'd invest in their shared future. This wasn't just about property. This was about trust, commitment, building something permanent together. David's due diligence consisted of asking Siraporn's cousin, who worked in real estate. The cousin confirmed everything. Property existed. Price was fair. Paperwork looked official. What David didn't understand was the brutal legal reality. In Thailand's court system, nominee arrangements offer foreigners zero protection. The property belongs entirely to the Thai national on the controlling shares. If the relationship ends, David loses everything with no legal recourse. The company structure David relied on was meaningless. Thai law requires Thai nationals to hold controlling shares in any property-owning company. David's minority shareholding gave him no actual rights. David transferred $150,000 from his Ohio bank account. The deed showed his name prominently, but Thai law made it completely worthless. He'd essentially given Siraporn a $150,000 gift with no legal mechanism to recover it. But the financial bleeding was just beginning. The visa manipulation intensified immediately. Tourist visas require leaving Thailand every 90 days. Expensive visa runs to neighboring countries, hotels, flights, immigration fees. Siraporn suggested David apply for a retirement visa instead. Much more convenient. No visa runs, permanent residency status. The catch? Retirement visas require $25,000 permanently deposited in a Thai bank account, money that can't be touched or moved without losing visa status. Siraporn would help manage the account since she understood local banking regulations. Foreign banks were complicated for visa purposes. David deposited another $30,000 for visa security and initial living expenses. Siraporn now controlled access to $180,000 of David's retirement savings through property ownership and joint banking arrangements. The red flags David missed were crystal clear in hindsight. Pressure for immediate property investment within 6 months. Complex legal workarounds requiring local intermediaries. Gradual financial control disguised as helpful assistance with bureaucracy. Legitimate relationships don't require immediate 6-figure property commitments. Real legal structures don't require complex workarounds that eliminate foreign rights. Within 8 months, David had committed $180,000 to a relationship where he legally owned nothing and controlled no assets. The house belonged to Siraporn. The bank account required her signature. The visa depended on maintaining minimum balances she managed. Think that's devastating? Wait until you see how the family money trap works. Trap number 2, the family money drain. 6 months after buying the house, David felt fantastic about his relationship. Siraporn had transformed their home into everything David dreamed about. Traditional Thai meals every night, genuine affection. She actually thanked him for working hard and providing security. David felt like a man again, valued, respected, needed. Then, the family emergencies started with devastating precision. It began small and believable. Siraporn's mother developed diabetes complications. The medication cost $300 per month. David didn't hesitate. This was what families did for each other. 2 weeks later, Siraporn's brother's motorcycle broke down. He delivered food across Bangkok. No motorcycle meant no income. Repair cost $800. David researched it. $800 was exactly what Honda repairs cost in Bangkok. But here's the systematic pattern that destroys men's finances. The requests escalated in frequency and amount. Siraporn's father's water buffalo died from disease. The family's rice farming depended on that animal. They needed $2,000 immediately for replacement or the crop would fail. David verified online. Water buffalo in rural Thailand cost $1,800 to $2,200. Legitimate. Then, university tuition for Siraporn's sister, $3,000 per semester at Chulalongkorn University. Without education, she'd be trapped in poverty. The medical emergency hit next. Siraporn's cousin needed surgery after a motorcycle accident, $2,500 up front, or he'd be permanently disabled. Siraporn showed David hospital photos, medical records. Her cousin in bed with his leg in splints. Crop failure came during monsoon season. Flooding destroyed the rice fields before harvest. They needed $1,800 for replanting or no income for the entire year. Each request came with documentation. Photos, medical records, university letters, repair estimates. David's monthly family support reached $3,000 within 6 months. He was supporting 9 people total. Siraporn's parents, 3 siblings, 2 cousins, and a grandmother. When David questioned the constant emergencies, Siraporn had perfect answers. Thai culture operated differently. Extended families supported each other through difficult times. This was normal cultural expectation. David's Western thinking prevented him from understanding collective family responsibility. When you married someone in Thailand, you married their entire family. The psychological manipulation became sophisticated. Siraporn framed David's reluctance as cultural insensitivity and insufficient commitment. If he truly loved her, he'd understand that her family became his family. Refusing support meant rejecting their future. Here's what David discovered online. He wasn't alone. American retiree James Patterson lost $300,000 supporting his Filipino wife's family over 3 years. 15 family members across 3 generations, each with believable financial needs that never ended. Robert Chen lost $250,000 in Vietnam to fake business opportunities. restaurant ventures, manufacturing businesses, property development, each failed, requiring more money. The pattern is always identical. Small, reasonable requests establish the giving pattern. Once you start, requests increase in frequency and amount. Psychological pressure intensifies through cultural guilt and relationship threats. David's red flags: vague emergency explanations, urgent timelines preventing verification, escalating amounts over time. Legitimate family needs happen occasionally, not monthly. Real emergencies can be verified through independent documentation. David's family support now exceeded his American living expenses. His retirement savings dropped by $36,000 annually just for family obligations. But David's nightmare was about to get infinitely worse. Trap number 3, the multi-man operation. Year 2 brought David's worst nightmare. He spotted Siraporn at a Bangkok mall having dinner with another Western man, both wearing matching gold rings. Confronted, she claimed he was her visiting cousin from America. But David noticed the intimate body language, the inside jokes, the comfortable familiarity of a long-term couple. That night, David hired a private investigator. The truth destroyed everything. Siraporn maintained simultaneous relationships with 4 Western men: David from Ohio, Klaus from Germany, Robert from Australia, James from Canada. Each man believed he was her exclusive boyfriend and future husband. The operation was sophisticated. Different phones for each relationship, separate social media accounts, coordinated travel schedules preventing overlap. When visiting David, she told the others she was caring for her sick mother in rural Thailand. Here's the financial damage across all 4 men. Klaus bought a $120,000 condo in Phuket. Robert invested $80,000 in a Thai business. James transferred $200,000 for a house in Chiang Mai. David's $180,000 was just one revenue stream. The family emergencies were completely fake. Siraporn's mother wasn't diabetic. Her brother didn't deliver food. The water buffalo never existed. She had 2 children from previous relationships with Western men, received child support from both fathers while denying their existence to current partners. This isn't random individual deception. The private investigator exposed an organized network across Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam. They identify vulnerable Western men through dating sites and expat forums. They share strategies, target profiles, manipulation techniques. The psychological profile targets recently divorced men over 50, substantial retirement savings, limited family connections. David fit perfectly: lonely, financially stable, culturally isolated, eager for appreciation. The exit strategy is brutal. Once financial extraction is maximized, they create dramatic separation reasons. Family pressure against foreign relationships, visa complications, personal crises requiring space. The men rarely discover each other. Shame prevents them from sharing experiences publicly. They return home financially devastated and emotionally destroyed. David's final damage assessment was catastrophic: $280,000 transferred to Thailand over 2 years. His retirement savings dropped from $800,000 to $520,000. At 64, he lacked time to rebuild financial security. Legal recourse offered little hope. Thai courts require proof of intentional fraud. International asset recovery costs often exceed potential settlements. Most victims never recover their losses. The protection framework that actually works. David's loss could have been prevented. Here's the framework that protects your retirement while allowing genuine relationships. Rule number 1. The 10% rule. Create a separate relationship account with maximum 10% of your total assets. This funds dating, travel, and small gifts. Your retirement savings, property, and investments remain completely separate and inaccessible. Rule number 2. Trust protection. Set up an irrevocable trust for primary assets before traveling abroad. Even if you marry internationally, trust assets stay protected from foreign legal claims. Rule number 3. Spending limits. Establish monthly withdrawal limits preventing large transfers without additional authorization. If someone pressures you to exceed these limits, that's an immediate red flag. Rule number 4. Independent verification. Hire local investigators to verify your partner's background before any financial commitment. This costs $500 to $1,000, but prevents losses of hundreds of thousands. Verify family emergencies through independent sources. If mother needs medical treatment, speak directly with the hospital. Legitimate needs can be documented and confirmed. Rule number 5, legal protection. Consult attorneys in your partner's country before property purchases or visa applications. Never rely on your partner's legal recommendations. Prenups must comply with both countries' laws. Work with international family law attorneys. Rule number 6, budget controls. Limit family support to predetermined amounts with annual caps. If monthly obligations exceed $500 or annual support exceeds $5,000, you're being exploited. What actually works? Safe international dating. David's second chance came through learning from mistakes. Start through verified cultural organizations, not dating apps or tourist areas, language schools, professional associations, international business groups. These provide natural meeting opportunities with educated, financially independent women who aren't targeting Western wallets. Time requirement is non-negotiable. Minimum 12 months before any financial commitments. Legitimate relationships develop gradually, not through urgent visa deadlines or family emergencies. Learn the local language, understand normal family obligations, recognize the difference between genuine culture and manufactured guilt. Financial transparency works both ways. Share your actual situation honestly. Expect the same in return. Partners with legitimate intentions discuss money openly. Family integration happens naturally over extended periods. You meet parents and siblings through normal social situations, not crisis management. Success story. Michael Thompson. American retiree met his Vietnamese wife through a cultural center in Ho Chi Minh City. Dated 18 months before any financial commitments. Thompson verified her background, met her family multiple times, consulted local attorneys before marriage. He spent 6 months learning Vietnamese culture and language, met her friends and colleagues through normal social situations. When financial needs arose, he verified them independently and provided support through established institutions. The relationship developed without pressure for immediate commitments. His wife maintained her own career and financial independence. Their marriage included proper legal protections and mutual financial transparency. Your financial future depends on these decisions. 3 traps destroy Western men's retirement security in Southeast Asia every single year. Visa and property manipulation that transfers ownership while maintaining the illusion of control. Family obligation, scams that create endless financial bleeding disguised as cultural responsibility. Multi-partner relationship cons operated by organized networks targeting vulnerable foreign men. These traps succeed through sophisticated emotional manipulation and deliberate cultural exploitation. David's story isn't unique. It happens to thousands of Western men annually across Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, and Cambodia. The financial losses total hundreds of millions of dollars every year. The men who survive and thrive follow specific protection protocols. They establish irrevocable trusts before traveling. They limit relationship investments to predetermined percentages of total assets. They verify everything independently through local professionals who aren't recommended by romantic partners. They understand that legitimate cross-cultural relationships develop gradually over extended time periods. They don't require immediate financial commitments, urgent property investments, or constant family emergency support. Due diligence and asset protection aren't optional when dating internationally. They're absolutely essential for anyone considering relationships abroad. David learned this lesson after losing $280,000 of his retirement security. Don't become another statistic in this ongoing financial disaster. Protect your assets first. Verify every single financial request. Trust your instincts when situations feel pressured or urgent. Your retirement depends on making smart decisions before emotions cloud your judgment. Have you experienced similar pressure tactics while dating internationally? What red flags have you noticed that other men should avoid? Drop your experiences in the comments below. Your story might save another man's retirement. And if you found this breakdown valuable, subscribe for more no BS strategies on protecting yourself while building genuine relationships abroad, because the next trap might be even more expensive than David's $280,000 nightmare.